You know me, I always believe in crossing my T's and dotting my I's and following the rules. Watch this. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now, do you remember Senator Joseph Biden of Delaware? Do you all remember some years ago, this is around, I think, 1993 or so, because his crime bill was for 1994. He was certainly pushing hard for that. Do you all remember in this brief clip, and I'm going to give commentary in between, Joe Biden making these statements? Let me get it set up here.
You must take back the streets. And you take back the streets by more cops, more prisons. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask, what made them do this? They must be taken off the street. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice.
He spent a year there. He got the Bronze Star. He got the Conspicuous Service Medal. He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I resent.
Are you talking about Hunter? Are you talking about Hunter?
I'm talking about my son, Beau Biden. You're talking about.
I don't know Beau. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use. And he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you became vice president, he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
that is simply
and various
not
other places.
True.
He made a fortune.
My son.
And he didn't have a job.
My son, like a lot of people we know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it. And I'm proud of him.
We're talking about the irony of Joe Biden invoking his son's drug addiction problem into the debate last night. There was a whole lot of madness that was going on during their conversation. But the irony to the Black community.
They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity.
When he says without conscience, and when he says they haven't been socialized, that is definitely him dog whistling by calling us animals. Joe Biden was labeling Black folk as animals. He was trying to paint us as savages and beasts in order to justify and receive all of the support for his crime bill to lock us up. When you think someone is an animal, you try to cage them. Somebody talk Black to me. Joe Biden, along with Hillary Clinton during that time and a whole bunch of other white folks. Joe Biden called us predators. Hillary and others called us super predators. If you follow the Vicki show on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, you know I gave you the scholar, the alleged scholar, who invented that term and who trained Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton at the White House in terms of what that meant. Hillary did not coin that phrase. She was taught it for strategic purposes, for the same reason that Joe Biden called us predators. They had to first create the environment, family, that could justify them legally locking folk up. What do you do to an animal? What do you do to a beast? You cage them, you lock up that beast. That's the reason why they were using such language like that. That's the reason why that Hillary said they have to be brought to heel, which is a phrase that you use for a dog. But right now, white America is experiencing what they never could have imagined. White America brought drugs to us. They socially engineered that substance to destroy us. But now she was doing it then, and she's still doing it now. And they are dropping like flies. They didn't expect that kind of backlash. But America is not suggesting that we lock up white folk for their irresponsibility and their addictions.
I hope this crime bill, when it passes, the Biden-Hatch crime bill, as it becomes law, God willing, I hope that we will have ended once and for all this notion that is a hangover from the 60s, that somehow Democrats are weak on crime and Democratic presidents are weak on crime and Republicans are tough on crime. The truth is, every major crime bill since 1976 that's come out of this Congress, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden, on that bill.